Good morning and welcome back to the 120th. Been a lot of large format on the channel recently, a lot of black and white paper reversal. So today I'm going to get back to my roots a little bit and we're going to take a medium format camera out for a spin. This is the Zeiss Ikon Ikonta 520. So this is the Zeiss Ikon Ikonta 520, not the 520/2 or the 520/18. There are literally a mass of Ikontas and Super Ikontas and Netars, and they cover a vast range of qualities and frame sizes. The whole range, the Zeiss Ikon Ikontas, Super Ikontas and Netars being the cheap versions, Super Ikontas being the fancy versions with extra options like the coupled rangefinders, were made from the early 1930s through to the late 1950s. And within each model in that range there was a selection of lenses and shutter combinations. So the variation of these Zeiss Ikon folders from the 1930s to the 1960s is just vast. There are hundreds of different cameras out there. This one, the Zeiss Ikon Ikonta 520, was the one that started it all. This was the very first Zeiss Ikon Ikonta produced by the Carl Zeiss company. This was first introduced in 1932 and was produced through to 1937. So this is something in the region of 90 years old, which is obviously a pretty good age for anything, let alone a camera. And the crazy thing is, as I've mentioned in previous videos, they sell dirt cheap. And I mean dirt cheap. You almost can't give them away. The Super Ikontas will still fetch a bit of a price. You might have to pay somewhere in the region of £100 to £200, similar in dollars, for one of those in a good model in good condition. This is an Ikonta 520 from the mid-1930s. This is the best lens shutter combination that I believe it was made with. This one has a 7cm or 70mm f3.5 tessar lens and a compa rapid shutter that takes you up to a 500th of a second and down to bulb and timed. This one is in pretty fantastic condition, frankly, for its age, for a 90-year-old camera. There's a tiny bit of haze. There is a little bit of fungus just starting to grow on the inner elements, but the bellows are sound. The shutter is very good, running a tiny bit slow on some of the shutter speeds, but nothing too serious. I'll take that into account when I start using it. Overall though, really in terrific condition. And the crazy thing is, one of these in a similar condition with this lens combination, this lens and shutter combination, sold for £20 on eBay in the last couple of months. So 20 quid, and just look at it, it's fully mechanical 6x4.5 shooter that folds up to really quite an insanely small size. I mean, that is absolutely pocketable. Looking forward to taking this one out, because if it is as good as I hope it is, then it could well be a good travel companion for me. I may find that I end up taking it everywhere with me. So the mechanism of this camera is about as simple as it gets. It's a simple wind on. There is no double exposure prevention, no frame counter, nothing like that. You're going to count your frames with the red windows in the back. I am guessing that at the time this was made, 6x4.5 was not a common frame size, because what we now have on the backing paper of 120 films is obviously we have the three frame sizes being counted. 6.9 along the top, 6.6 in the middle and 6.4.5 along the bottom. But instead of using the 6.4.5 numbers along the bottom here, this uses the 6x9 numbers. And it counts by, which way does it go? Yeah, so we wind here, so it's going to go that way across here. And the way you follow your frames is that you'll see a number 1 come up in there and you're on frame 1. You then wind until the number 1 comes up in this window. You then wind until you get frame 2 in this window, and that's frame 3. You then wind your 2 to this window, that's frame 4, window, it's so on and so forth. You get the picture. And once you get to frame 8, which is of course as high as the numbers go on the 6x9 row on your backing paper in your film, that is your frame 16, and that is the end of your roll, and you wind it through. I've done some testing on this. I have checked the shutter speeds. As I say, they're running a little bit slow. The focus is looking absolutely spot on. So best thing we can do is take it out and take it for a spin. So I'll see you out there. Right then, we're out and about. It is a chilly, frosty morning, and quite misty. I've just walked down to the banks of the Severn, and it's so misty you can't even see the other side this morning. You can't see Wales. But there's some interesting, like the low sun, the low winter sun is throwing some interesting shapes. So we might try some stuff this morning. I do not yet have a film loaded because I wanted to have a look and see what the place looked like. And I think, having now seen it, I think we'll go black and white. So let's get a film loaded. I don't actually know what I've got with me. Let's have a look. So, one interesting thing to keep an eye on today is that it's cold. It's not below freezing, but it's definitely probably 2 or 3 degrees Celsius, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. And whilst we were getting slightly slow shutter speeds in my tests, there is every chance that everything will just gum up a little bit out in the cold. So I'll test it every now and again. There's no film in at the minute, so let's try a 50th. I mean, it's just come out of the car, so it's going to be warm, but see, that seems fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rate my film a little higher to compensate for that shutter speed. Right, what we got? Colour. What's this one? T-Max 100. That'll do. Let's put that in. I'm going to do this behind here so that it doesn't get too much light. This one has little springy bits on the top of both sides to help you get the your roll in. Just watch out that you don't wind straight past frame number 1, which is a bit of a habit of mine. Kodak and a 1. So that's loaded and ready to go. Interestingly, we're just starting to get some hills on the other side poking through the clouds there. I don't know if I'd be able to get any of that. I might just take a photo from here, just looking straight down like that. Let's see what that looks like. Got the big Ikon spot meter out with me today, which is a bit of a joke because it's significantly bigger than the camera. But let's spot meter some bits here. So we're at 100, but because of our slow shutter speeds, we are going to rate that at 200. We've got a 320, a 200, 400. Let's go with a 250. And we'll try and close down to an f10. And let's put this on the tripod, shall we? So we're out with a K&F Concept carbon fibre tripod today. So we're going to close down to f11. Let's give us an infinity focus. Take that to 250. All right, we're ready to go. Cock the shutter. Here we go. And then we wind on, and as discussed before, we've got a 1 in this frame. Oh, there we go, yeah. And we wind it through so we get a 1 in this frame. There we go, and we're lined up for the second shot. Let's do this one. We'll close down even further for this. There we go. And cock, and go grab the cable release. You stay there, cows. I am going to come and take a photo of you. Right, there's some lovely cows down here. And they're kind of peeking perfectly over the fence. So let's go and see if we can get a nice shot of them. Let's see what we can do with this. Here we go. Hello, cows. Let's change the focus there to 7 meters, which is about there. Cock the shutter, and the cows have moved, obviously. Come over here, come on. That'll work.
Now this shot is fine, but I took a second shot here and it turned out like this, which is a bit weird. It's not from the red windows in the back, because that would give me a horizontal line across the bottom of this image. It's clearly a light leak, but it's intermittent, so something to watch.
Let's head back up towards the river. This K&F Concept tripod is so light.
It's crazy, and with this camera on it as well, it's literally like, woo, woo. Just nothing, no weight at all. Let's go and see what we can see here. It is very low tide. It's quite cool, really. Let's go and see how close we can get. Right. Woo! It's super sloppy, eh? Let's go with an f16, and we'll wind this back out to an infinity focus again. Cock the shutter, all the other settings are correct. 3, 2, 1. And here's that light leak again. It does go away on other images. It's quite nice in this direction as well. We might do a similar thing. Shutter cocked, everything else the same. f16, 250th of a second, infinity focus. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. And as you saw, I changed absolutely nothing and the light leak's gone. Riddle me that. I like this shot though. It turned out really nice with the nuclear power station looming menacingly in the distance. I think let's go and get a shot. There's a little kind of cross. Someone's put a cross down there. I can't see if it's actually got anything written on it, but let's have a look. This is kind of cool. Let's do this on a landscape as well. Let's see what we can get of this. Right then, let's laser rangefind it from the this position. Where's me? Oh, there it is. And we've got a 2.6 meters. We're at f16 100, so let's see where that puts us. Alright, so we've got 100 on there, 160. Now, according to the viewfinder, this is not chopping anything off. So let's give this a go. Light leak back. And a switch to portrait orientation, and the light leak's gone again. Let's get super close to this, shall we? Let's see what we can do depth of field wise, eh? Let's take this down to 3.5, wide open, and up to a 500th. And let's see what we get. 3, 2, 1. How about that? Wide open and closest focus, some nice short depth of field and lovely detail. I am impressed. Now, I messed up this next shot. I seem to have forgotten to change the focus from 1 meter to infinity. So I wasn't going to put this in, but I feel like I need to show you this special moment. Hang on. Oh no, I've put the foot of that in some dog shit. Look. God damn. Oh, my K&F concept tripod. Alright, that's pretty clean now. Let's try that again. And just for your amusement, here's what happens if you completely forget to focus. I quite like it, actually. So that's a film done. So the next thing I'm going to do, in fact, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go home and do some work to make it look as if I've been at my desk all day. And then this afternoon, as the sun comes down again, sometime around 3, 4 o'clock, no, earlier, 1, 2 o'clock, I don't know, sometime this afternoon, I will head to Chepstow and we'll have a little wander around the town centre there and we'll do some sort of street photography off the tripod. Alright then, see you there. Mind the poo. Right then, well, that plan died on its arse. I got to Chepstow and the weather was just horrible. The weather is just horrible at the moment. It's just wet and miserable and nothing. Flat skies, no light. So I'm going to do something different instead. I am going to take some pictures of my kids in the house, in the kitchen here, but I'm going to use some lights to make it a bit different. So yeah, I don't know how these are going to come out. I've bribed my children with extra pocket money to come and stand in front of the camera. So we'll see how this goes. I was going to shoot, I was going to shoot colour, but I actually think that this scene will suit black and white a bit better. It really is, I mean, it's kind of an undressed kitchen. I'm going to kind of shoot this way with her kind of here in the middle. I'm going to try and shoot wide open, which is, I have to ask my daughter to stand, try and maintain that distance from the camera. There's lots of things that will or won't work with this. Let's just go on with it, see what happens.
Right then, I think we're set up. It's just this basically, and she's going to be here. Do some vertical ones, the portrait orientation ones to start with. And as I said, short depth of field, super close to the camera, so we should just kind of blur all this out. So I'm not too fussed what it looks like, and I quite like the kind of mixed up nature. There's some sort of geometric, there's a reason we're pointing into the corner here. Might remove that tea towel. That'll do, don't judge me. Just go and encourage an unwilling child to come and join me. That sounds all sorts of wrong, doesn't it? Okay, you ready? Looking straight into the camera, you're moving around quite a lot. Are you nice and still now? Okay, looking into the camera, 3, 2, 1. Okay, can we do something different? I want you to head up, but looking at the camera. Hands on your hips, really gives you some like attitude into the camera. Want to take a photo of me?
So how do you do it?
See where the cable's going in?
Yeah.
See the little arm above it?
This one.
Yes, you're going to push that up until it clicks. That's it. Then pick up the thing at the bottom.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's come a bit closer. Oh. So you're sitting nice and still. Sit, ready, ready. Big smiles, 3, 2, 1. Well, how about that? That is, frankly, insane. A 90-year-old camera that you can pick up for £20. And you are getting mind-blowing images from it. That lens is quite wide, that 70mm lens, 7cm lens is quite wide, and at 3.5 you're getting plenty of soft backgrounds, blurry backgrounds, some good bokeh in there. Now, I've said this before, folders, underrated and oft overlooked. If you're looking for a way into medium format and you don't want to spend too much money, go look at the folders from the 1940s, 50s and 60s, because there are some absolute gems in there, and you will pick one up for, I mean, even if you don't have £20, you can go on eBay now and you can probably pick up a Netar for about a tenner, maybe even £5. If I look, I'm sure I could find a Zeiss Ikon Netar for £5 on eBay. People just don't want them, and I have no idea why, because they are cracking little cameras. This one is going to become a bit of a travel camera for me. I am going to take it with me and keep using it. I am super impressed with that. I am absolutely blown away by the size of it, and you know, that is 100%. I will get that in my pocket. My light meter is bigger than this camera. So there you go. That is your lot for today. That was quite fun, getting back to my roots, getting back to my medium format cameras, doing what we used to do on this channel all the time. I'll be doing a bit more of that soon. If you saw that video where I went through a load of medium format cameras, all the folders that I showed you in there, I've still got. They're all in a box in the garage, sealed away from the moisture so they don't turn to mush. But they don't sell for anything. There is no point in me selling them because it probably costs me more in postage than I would get for the camera, which is nuts. Absolute madness. What I will do in future videos, I'm not going to give this one away because I really enjoyed that and I want to use it more. But in future videos, when we do the Netars and stuff like that, I'll just hand them out. So watch out for those. That is your lot for today. There is loads of stuff coming up. We've got some more kit reviews, more folders being taken out for a spin, travel coming up, potentially new large format camera, my large portrait box. Simon Forster has been making me some massive lens cones to take my 4 kilo. Let me show you the lens. Oh my God. It's heavy. So this is the lens that is going to go on the portrait box, the black and white paper reversal portrait camera. It is 4.5 kilos. It is a 20-inch f5.6. It's got an Air Ministry marking on the barrel there, so it would have been an aerial reconnaissance lens, probably maybe from World War II or a bit later. It's an absolute monster. Let's do that. I don't need to go to the gym anymore. Just curl this. So yeah, Simon Forster is making me some 3D printed lens cones that will allow me to vary the distance between the lens and the film plane, the paper plane. So yeah, that portrait box build is happening and it's coming up very soon now. Okay, that's it. Thanks for joining me. Subscribe. Goodbye.